All right, guys, today we have some more PlayStation and Xbox news to go over and talk about. So we're going to dive right into it. If you could do me a big favor, be sure to hit the like button if you do enjoy the video or find it informative. It really helps a lot. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon as well. We're starting off talking about PlayStation 5 pre-orders and how some retailers are now informing some customers that their pre-order might not actually end up being fulfilled. It seems as though they may have actually allowed too many individuals to pre-order and they just simply do not have enough to go around. I will let you know this is limited to a few select retailers, but I do think it's important to relay this information to anybody who may be affected by it. And you also do need to be on the lookout for maybe more retailers in the future sending out similar emails. So this comes from VGC. It says Sony has started informing retailers of their PlayStation 5 launch day allocation. UK retailer Shop2 has begun contacting PlayStation 5 pre-order customers to tell them whether they will receive the console in time for launch. The retailer ran a system which essentially let customers pre-order a PS5 console by registering their interest prior to pre-orders going live. Once PS5 pre-orders officially launched on September 17th, customers were given a short window to confirm if they wanted to keep their pre-order. And the retailer has now started informing customers whether it will be able to deliver their console in time for launch. There's also an update posted here that says Ireland's GameStop chain has contacted some PS5 pre-order customers to tell them not to expect their console to arrive before 2021. So that is very unfortunate for anybody receiving that email. You think you're going to be getting a PS5 at launch only to then find out you're actually not going to get it till sometime next year. That really is disappointing. The original story continues. We have received the allocation details from Sony, and unfortunately, we regret to inform you that we will not be able to fulfill your pre-order on day one/release date. This is what the email says to those who are unfortunate enough to receive it. This is the email that Shop2 specifically is sending out. So this is quite an unfortunate situation, but I can't sit here and say that it's all too surprising. We knew this was going to happen with some retailers. Some retailers were going to take as many pre-orders as they possibly could, only to then find out that the allocation is just simply not enough to meet all of those pre-orders. So again, this is limited to just a few retailers. GameStop Ireland, as well as Shop2 in the UK. So just be on the lookout to see if maybe the retailer you have your PS5 pre-ordered from could send out something similar. Hopefully this is it though, and this is the last we will hear of it. But moving right along here, I did want to briefly talk about this for a moment because I find it pretty interesting. I'm a little bit late to it, but I haven't seen anybody else cover it. And this comes from an analyst who is predicting that the PS5 will sell over 200 million units, which would be insane. It says Rakuten, a respected Japanese analyst, is reporting that PlayStation 5 will sell over 200 million units. If true, this would make the PlayStation 5 the best-selling home console of all time. According to Wikipedia, the PlayStation 4 is currently sitting at about 110.4 million units sold, and we know that the PlayStation 2 is the king of the home console, selling, I believe, about 155 million units total, roughly. I think that's an estimate, but somewhere in that ballpark. And so there's not really too much to go on here. This is just what the analyst is saying. It is worth noting this is a well-respected analyst, and I'm not seeing anything here that's letting me know why this analyst is saying this, but it's interesting to think about, right? Like, could we see any home console ever reach that 200 million units sold? What's interesting to think is that was actually Microsoft's original goal. Funnily enough, with the Xbox One, they were striving to hit 200 million units sold, and we saw what happened there, unfortunately. But when you look at the PlayStation 5, it has a tremendous amount of hype and excitement surrounding it. So could we see it actually go toe-to-toe with the PlayStation 2? I want to say it's possible simply because anything is possible, but the likelihood of that happening, like, look, 200 million units, I mean, something crazy would have to happen at some point over the course of this generation to allow that to happen. We do have to understand that these are crazy times we're living in with everything that's going on, and you see just how important gaming has become to a lot of people who maybe weren't paying too much attention to gaming. So who knows? Maybe the PS5 could hit 200 million units. I would say it would be insane if it was even able to get anywhere close to the PS2. I think right now, the most I'm going to give the PlayStation 5 is it does seem likely it could certainly match what the PlayStation 4 has done, sitting at around 110 million units. I think a little bit more than that, actually. So, yeah, just wanted to take a few moments to talk about that because I'm going to be interested to see what you guys have to say. Do you think the PS5 could potentially hit 200 million units sold? Seems a little bit too unrealistic to me. It seems like maybe this analyst was just trying to have a little bit of fun here. But moving right along, I do want to give you guys a little bit of an update. The only update, honestly, that we seemingly received on the Last of Us Factions mode. I know that there are some of you, including myself here, who are very much anticipating this and looking forward to it. And the Last of Us Day came and went, and a lot of people, again, including myself, were really thinking that this was going to be the moment when Naughty Dog said more about it and revealed more about it. And the day went on, and we didn't hear anything. But Neil Druckmann, at the end of the day, did post this. He said, "Thank you to all the wonderful fans for an incredible The Last of Us Day. Your positivity and love is incredibly inspiring." Oh, and I said expiring. I meant to say inspiring. But he says, "Oh, and about that other thing, be patient. It'll be worth it." Now, he doesn't explicitly confirm that he's talking about the Factions multiplayer standalone game, but we all know that's exactly what he has to be talking about. I mean, how could it not be? So I just had to make you guys aware of this. This seems to be Neil Druckmann's way because it's important to understand, giving you a little bit of context here. Everybody who was following Naughty Dog on Twitter, The Last of Us Day, they were all really asking for some type of update, and a lot of people were seemingly getting very frustrated that Naughty Dog was just kind of ignoring them and not really saying anything at all. And even I was getting a little bit frustrated because I was like, look, even just a simple write-up just to let us know it's still a thing and it's still in development would go a long way at this point. And so, I did say a small update would suffice, and that's what I'm taking this as. Neil Druckmann just letting us know that other thing, it's coming along, be patient, the wait will be worth it. So wanted to keep you guys updated on that. But we're now talking a little bit about Xbox and what head of Xbox Phil Spencer had to say about the future of consoles, specifically underneath the gaming division over there at Microsoft. It says here, Microsoft's cloud gaming service xCloud launched earlier this month, and a week later, Amazon announced that it intends to enter the game streaming space and compete with both Microsoft and Google Stadia. Yahoo Finance asked Xbox's Phil Spencer whether this heavyweight investment in cloud gaming could see the forthcoming console generation become the last, and the executive replied that Xbox is absolutely planning for more console hardware. We're about putting the player at the center. It's not about the device in the middle anymore, Spencer replied. You see that in every other form of media. My TV is with me wherever I go. My music is with me wherever I go. I'm in control of the experience, and I think gaming is going through that same transformation, which is why, as you say, if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you can now play your great games on your Xbox console, on your PC, now on your Android phone via streaming. And Spencer added, in terms of future hardware, absolutely, I think we're going to see more console hardware down the road. Just like in video, just like in music, it's not that streaming has cut off device innovation. I think we'll continue to see that, and that's absolutely what we're planning for. So to me, this was actually a very important quote from Phil Spencer that I actually am really happy to hear. I've criticized some of the things that Phil Spencer said in the past, but this is one thing that I have to say I am very happy to hear from him, where he's making it clear that this is not the last time you're going to see an Xbox console. And there's no doubt that there is some truth to what he's saying, if not a lot of truth, where the gaming landscape is going through a transformation. We see that Sony is still trying to stick with the traditional way of doing things, which I'm all for. But there's no doubt that things are going to continue to change as we go further into the future. And we have yet to probably see some of the biggest changes. Those are going to be happening later on. And so it is nice to hear that they are still dedicated to the console and they still plan to make consoles. And this is something that I would like to hear from Sony as well. I think it's kind of implied with Sony, considering how traditional of a route they're still going down, and they still care very much about hardware sales. But that's what I want to see. You know, I care about the console. I don't expect the console to thrive forever. Obviously, things will change, but as long as the console's still there and there's still innovation and there's still, you know, a dedicated console that people can buy, that's really all I care about. So I thought that that was worth pointing out. But one last thing I do have to mention here before wrapping this video up is apparently Greg Miller is going hands-on with Bugsnax, and he's going to be playing it all this week. He just wanted to let us know, and he said that first impressions are coming soon. Now, what's interesting about this is he doesn't clarify whether or not he's going hands-on with this game with the PlayStation 5, and that right there is why I'm pointing this out, because we all kind of have our suspicions as of right now that the first week of October, or maybe around like October 5th or 6th, sometime in that date time frame, we could be seeing or hearing more about the PlayStation 5 getting hands-on impressions. We know Japan is getting that. So it's safe to assume that maybe other areas and other regions are receiving that as well. And the fact that Greg Miller's playing Bugsnax could lend some credence to that idea. That is just speculation on my part, but still, at the very least, if you are excited to hear more about Bugsnax, then you're going to be able to learn more about it via Greg Miller and possibly other outlets as well. So there you go. That's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already, hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.